First of all, I'm sure you already realize that the Rottweiler is considered a medium to large-sized dog and is robust in build. It is a working breed and enjoys learning new things and having jobs to do to keep its mind active and healthy. As you can see here, creative and energetic play is an integral part of a happy, well-adjusted Rottweiler. Because of the Rottweiler's robust size and rapid growth rate, but more in part due to the overpopularity and indiscriminate breeding, our breed is being afflicted with several hereditary diseases. I will just briefly mention them on this video. I would like you to please keep in mind, though, that these diseases are not only attacking our breed, but all breeds are now suffering from their own list of genetic ailments. The following may very well be the first time that many of you have seen all of these maladies listed together, and it really is rather scary, folks, to say the least. Remember the old Smokey the Bear commercials that stated only you can prevent forest fires? Well, only selective breeding and responsible ownership can help prevent the following list of diseases in the Rottweiler breed. First of all, our breed has various behavioral abnormalities or faulty temperaments, such as a Rottweiler that is overly shy, or is a fear biter, or aggressive. Cancer. Though there is some controversy among some of the veterinarians as whether or not cancer is hereditary in nature, there are sure a lot of our Rottweilers developing various forms of this disease. Diabetes. Cushing's disease. These two metabolic diseases are considered to be sometimes interrelated. Elbow dysplasia. This is a degenerative joint disease affecting the elbow joints and becoming all too common in our breed. Entropion. This is when the eyelids actually turn inward and irritate the eyeball itself. Hypothyroidism. This disease is past the point of becoming prevalent in our breed. It may be often characterized by various allergies, dry, flaky skin problems that never seem to be solved, itchiness, sores that are slow to heal, and many other seemingly unrelated disorders. Inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD, is an oftentimes painful disorder with symptoms being repeated vomiting and diarrhea, and it too is becoming highly suspect of being another genetically influenced disease. Osteochondritis dissecans, or OCD. This is a serious bone disorder that is beginning to show up more and more often, with the first sign being lameness, usually in a foreleg. It may be overlooked at the beginning because symptoms are similar to eosinophilic panosteitis, or PANO, commonly called the wandering lameness or growing pains, but disappears after a few months. Both problems can be identified by X-rays. Progressive retinal atrophy, or PRA. This is an eye disease that requires that both parents have the disease or are at least carriers before it can be passed on to their offspring. Note I said both parents are responsible for this form of slow night blindness. It usually starts off with insecurity at night due to fading night vision. Von Willebrand's disease. This is a type of blood disorder similar to hemophilia in humans. Various heart disorders such as subaortic stenosis or cardiomyopathy. Vitiligo. This is not actually a disease, but may be the result of an immune-related disorder. This is when the pigmentation is lost, resulting in the dog developing various parts of white on parts of its body. And again, this is becoming all too common in our Rottweilers. And finally, the one disease that many of even the most novice dog person has heard about, canine hip dysplasia, or CHD. Hips can only be evaluated accurately by the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, or OFA. Pin hip Institute for Genetic Disease Control in Animals, or the GDC, and finally, if the Rottweiler was imported, his or her country of origin. Since many of you are already aware of the OFA certification, and most clubs include OFA certification as a prerequisite to breeding any male or female Rottweiler, I will only list the common acceptable categories for hips evaluated by the OFA, and they are fair, good, and excellent. I will show you two radiographs of hips. The first will be that of an adult male Rottweiler who was certified by OFA as being good. The second will be that of a younger dog afflicted with severe hip dysplasia. One thing I wish to stress at this time, you can have a dysplastic puppy from parents that are both certified. This insidious disease is referred to as a polygenic disease. Now that means that it can take many different genes assembled in one dog before that dog develops hip dysplasia. Since it is believed that all Rottweilers carry at least one of those genes, sooner or later the necessary combination may manifest in a single dog, resulting in the disease. But by making sure that all breeding stock is certified to be free of hip dysplasia, you increase your odds for a strong and disease-free puppy. I must add that the environment in which a puppy is raised can have an adverse effect on young developing hips. Now here you see an X-ray showing the hip and leg bones as the dog is sedated and stretched out. This X-ray is that of a 2-year-old Rottie that was OFA'd good. Notice the area marked acetabulum, that is the socket portion of the joint, and it's deep and well-rounded. You can also see that the end of the femur bone or femoral head makes up the ball portion of the joint, and it fits deep into the socket and is also well-rounded and smooth. You should be able to see right away in this particular X-ray that something is very wrong. There are no sockets for the heads to fit into. Also, you can see that the bone structures that are present are not very smooth or well-rounded. This Rottie was less than 1 year old, and as shown, was severely dysplastic. The only future for this puppy would have been a very painful one, and in order to continue walking without extreme discomfort, would have required a complete hip replacement when the puppy matured a little more. Most breeders should be aware of all these genetic maladies and require that their breeding stock is screened for many of these diseases when screening is available before being allowed to produce any puppies. Ask your breeder what genetic screening has been performed on the parent. Again, let me stress the fact that all breeds have a similar list of hereditary disorders. When you are owned by a Rottweiler, you should be aware of these genetic problems and be prepared to accept the responsibility for tests and medical treatment if the need should arise. The reason I'm going into all of this is to educate you so that you may have a little better understanding about what diseases are afflicting our magnificent Rottweilers and breaking the hearts of those that have come to love them. Hopefully, this will increase your chances for having a healthy Rottweiler partner and friend around for 10 or more wonderful years. Whenever you purchase a Rottweiler puppy, the breeder of your puppy should present you with what's called a blue litter slip if you're going to be registering your puppy in the near future, and a copy of the AKC registration certificates on both parents, a certificate from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, or OFA, showing that the hips on both parents have been certified, a copy of at least a 3-generation pedigree. That is a piece of paper that shows the puppy's parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. A detailed list of worming and vaccinations that the puppy has received to date, with the list including vaccinations to be done. Following, I'm going to show you examples of additional certificates that you may also see on the parents of your puppy, or certificates that you want to be sure to have your puppy acquire when it gets older. You might see a certificate indicating that the eyes of the parents are certified to be free of any genetic eye disorders. Another certificate from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, or OFA, indicating that the elbows are free from elbow dysplasia and have a registry number. An obedience certificate issued by the American Kennel Club. If one or more parents of your puppy is a champion, you will need a copy of the champion certificate. There may be a certificate from the American Temperament Test Society Incorporated indicating that the Rottweiler has gone through a battery of tests to determine that it has a sound and stable temperament for the breed. And in case you didn't know, Rottweilers can herd and have been receiving herding certificates from the American Herding Breed Association for many years. AKC just recently has indicated that Rottweilers now can compete in AKC herding trials. Carting with Rottweilers is becoming very popular. You might acquire a carting certificate. And finally, every Rottweiler should earn and get a Canine Good Citizen Test Certificate, or CGC. This is proof showing that your Rottweiler is in fact a canine good citizen in its own community. The day may come, folks, when we may not even get homeowners insurance unless we present a CGC certificate on each of our Rottweilers. There are some communities and insurance companies that are already demanding this proof.
First overall impression and appearance of this puppy is, I have to say, very substantial, very well-boned male. He's got beautiful bone strength, this puppy. He'll have gorgeous color too. Color continues in these dogs until about 4 months of age. The color continues to get richer and richer, and he's got very beautiful color right now. He's probably going to have some very nice color when he's finished done. Yes. Little puppies. Little puppies. Do you give them little treats? How do they react? I don't want to start something.
Cheese. I can do cheese.
Okay. I don't want to start something and then... There's a nice strong top line. I saw that when he was out on the grounds. Yeah, you want to eat my whole finger, huh?
Oh. What do you mean by top line?
This is his top line. Nice and straight. That's what you want, is a straight top line. I think I'm not going to give you any more cheese. He's got a nice short croup. When this tail is up, we have a nice short croup area. It seems to be very strong as well. Your tail complements that. When he holds it up, you saw him walking. You see the length of the croup. This is the croup. This part here from the hip bones back. Oh, you want some more now? Yeah. nice short rear feet, good front feet. He has fairly good knuckling. This puppy should be fed up off the ground. Are you aware on how to do that? You feed them up so that they're constantly standing up and they have to flex their muscles, and that will enhance the feet even better. Looks like he's got fairly strong pasterns. This is the pastern area of the puppy right here. Bend and length of stifle. This is the stifle area right here, the rear part of the leg. This way. He falls nice and true in the rear. He's not real wide either. He's got good width between the rear legs. That's what I was looking at. He also moves that well in the rear. He's quite clean going away. He has what I call, he's not real short and hock, but he has a very well let down hock area. This is the hock area of the dog. This indentation here is what we call the let down of the hock. That's a nice let down of hock. And he's not real long either in the hock area, which I also like. Sometimes if they're too long, they look like they're between the angle and the length of the hock, almost kind of not stilty looking because it's not straight, but too much of an upright look to the rear. It's not fluid. Puppies, you do the head last, because that becomes the time when they're out able to sit and relax. You do this stuff first. He's got a nice width of shoulder. He's about a 2.5 finger between the shoulder blade. For his size and width, it's just right for this puppy. Elbows lay well to the body. And he's got very, very nice over-under lines there. You kind of saw that. I'll just for a second longer.
Puppies are continue to do this.
This puppy is 7 weeks old.
Do that slow. He's not real short in loin, but he's definitely not long. The loin area is what gives you length of back. This is not going to be a long puppy. I might want to see it just a smidgen shorter, but it's for the amount of leg, the amount of length on this puppy, it's very acceptable. Just the gorgeous bone strength. Do that one leg for me, come on. Just maybe a smidgen shorter, but very, very, very pleasing. Well laid back shoulder. Nice length of the upper arm. Good protection. Nice length of neck too. I like a lot of length of neck. This is correct. I would like to see maybe a little bit more, but that's my own personal preferences. I like a lot of length of neck. nose just ever so slightly in this front left. Just very minimal. It's good width between the front legs. His nice penciling. I need to look at the pedigree too. For his size and his length of leg, I won't say this is going to be a huge, huge dog, but he's going to be an average-sized male. With the amount of body he carries, if he had just a little bit more leg, I would say it would be a pretty tall dog, but he's going to be an average-sized male, I believe, and height-wise. Don't get that tail up. I want him to get his tail up. Now see the top line as he's starting to lift his tail, how nice and firm and straight it is. To hold the tail down, it can make it look lower down. That tail lifts and is carried, just as you saw when he was temperament testing. It's got a lovely top line. He'll go through 4 puppy coat changes for the first year of his life, but he should finish off with a very nice coat. He's got good substance of the coat as well, too. In a couple of weeks, this is going to start breaking off. Already starting the dryness of the coat, you see. He'll have a nice coarse coat when it's finished, which is the preferred. It's supposed to be a coarse coat.
Tell me killing back there, Tyre.
Who's tired?
Hey, Tub. Hey, Tub.
Puppy has beautiful back skull, lovely ear, carries the ear beautifully. You're going to have a small to medium ear on this male, and probably if the head substance comes through and it finishes off, you're going to have closer to a small ear on this male when he's done growing. By the time they're 4 months of age, their ears are as large as they're going to be. They look like they're too big, but have no fear. They stop growing there, and then the head keeps going. They're well set, nicely carried ears. A nice dark eye. Very wide set apart. Put this way, I'll lose you. Almond-shaped eye, nice tight lids. It's going to have more than moderate stop, the arch of the skull here. I know you know that cheese is there, don't you? A nice broad muzzle with good fill under the eye area. It's got good underjaw too. A little bit of a wrinkle on his nose, which he may always have. That's, he says, give me some food, which is right in here. Length of muzzle to back skull is correct. He's got a nice dark mouth. Mouth again, like the pigment of the body. This will continue to get darker and darker, and probably when he starts teething, it will turn purple. But it's going to have a nice dark mouth. A little bit of modeling, just a small amount of modeling, but overall, a nice dark mouth. He's got a nice full scissors bite right now on the face. He's got nice markings over here. If I had to This is a very pleasing head. If I had to change anything, I might give him just a little bit more stop right here between the eyes, but it's going to be a very masculine, very, very, very pleasing male head when he's finished. He's fairly dry. He's not a wet puppy. Let's try and get that back on him, because then I can see how the... we did that. So, put your tongue in. See how the top comes down over the bottom teeth? That's what you call full, and I like to see that in puppies. Give them a little bit of room.
No, now you stop or I'm going to kennel you.
Overall, this is a very, very lovely young male. I think very fluid, very good movement, real good drive, reach and drive on the puppy. But I do suggest that you feed this puppy right up off the ground, and then you continue as he grows to make it higher and higher and higher. He's got a nice foot, but that is one area that you can help by feeding him up off the ground. Get these toes a little bit tighter because there are muscles in there too.
Make sure you get the nails short.
Right.
Yeah, sure. They got a clip.
There he is. Oh, this is a pretty puppy. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Now that you have your new Rottweiler, what else do you need, or should you get? Crates. Rottweilers do enjoy their crates. That is, of course, until they get old enough to realize that their human's bed is so much more comfortable. Because of this, crates, or kennels, as some prefer to call them, can be used as effective training tools while also providing a sense of security to your puppy or dog. Crates must be large enough for your Rottweiler to be able to stand up and or lie down in. Crates can be used for periods between walks and feeding as a house training aid, since a puppy will not want to soil its bed. Be sure to take your puppy outside to one specific area to go potty in, and then tell it what a good puppy it is, and sound like you really mean it. If the crate is too large, you can add a couple of boxes to one end to prevent the puppy access until he or she gets a little bigger. Well, there goes Mr. Chips. You see, that is his crate that I brought outside to videotape for you. And just like I said in the beginning, Rottweilers do enjoy their crates. This next segment, I was going to tell you all about going out and buying durable dishes, but Mr. Chips unfortunately was outside, and well, I'll show you what happened. He didn't like the idea of me using his dishes either. Before I get into the toys, and since we were expecting a new puppy anyway, but mainly because Mr. Chips just wouldn't let us share his dishes, I went out and bought a new one so that I could show you. Make sure that when you buy your Rottweiler's dish that it's a good durable stainless steel one. Now let's touch on just a few of the toys. Beef bones. These are bones of beef that are coated with a barbecue type gravy and then baked. Now, the dogs really love to chew on them, and all Rottweilers do need things to chew on. Some folks have said that these bones will cause chipping of the teeth. Well, we've been using these bones for several years now and haven't had any such problems. As you can see, the bone on the right has been pretty chewed up. It's been around for about 2 years. Hide. Any rawhide that is tightly wrapped makes a good chew for our Rottweilers. I might make a note here that try to purchase rawhides that are manufactured in the United States, as most of those that are manufactured in other countries have been treated with various chemicals such as formaldehyde, arsenic, and pesticides. Cow hoofs. Cow hoofs are now one of the most popular things for our Rottweilers to chew on, right now that is, along with pig's ears. Well, I want to caution everybody that uses cow hoofs as a chew, though. Rottweilers love them. They have been known to cause several problems. Mainly, veterinarians are finding enamel being chipped off the dog's teeth because they're splintering when they chew on them. But more than that, some of these hoofs are actually causing perforations in the intestines. And on one particular instance, I know of a young Rottweiler that had to have emergency surgery because it developed bloat. It had swallowed a part of a cow hoof that had lodged in the stomach and had not digested. Now, this hoof had been there for about 3 months before the dog suddenly got ill. So, although your Rottweilers love cow hoofs, please keep them under supervision. Pig's ear. Yes, folks, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a pig's ear that has been treated. Dogs certainly do love to eat them, and they're really becoming more and more popular. As far as I'm concerned, I think they're perfectly safe to use as a special treat. Tug toys. Our dogs really love to tug and chew on these, and rumor has it that biting along the strings keep food particles out from between the teeth and help massage the gums. A lot of Rottweilers enjoy carrying around and sleeping with soft, fluffy, stuffed toys. Again, though there are some that, left alone, will chew them up and pull the stuffing out. So you know your own dog best. Squeaky toys. All Rottweilers love things that they can squish in their mouth and make noise. Word of caution here, though, keep an eye on your Rottie that it doesn't end up biting pieces of the rubber and plastic and then swallowing them. Kongs. Now this is one of Chip's favorite toys. This is a Kong, and you can get them in all sizes, and they're virtually indestructible. Chip has had this Kong for almost 4 years now, and it is certainly some things not to let your Rottweiler play with. Number 1, golf balls. Golf balls are a size that if a dog gets them, they will not only break their teeth, but they can swallow them and choke. Tennis balls. Though all of our dogs dearly love tennis balls, please keep them under supervision while they're playing with them. I have known many dogs that have torn them in half and get the rubber caught in their throat and have known to suffocate. Baseballs. Baseballs are hard and solid and can break your dog's teeth. Forgot. One of Chip's and Katja's favorite toys are their tires, as you saw in the beginning of this video. We had a heck of a time trying to get this shot. You'll see why in a minute. But remember, while waiting for the scene to come up there, that any old tires that you use, that they are polyester belted and not steel belted. They chew on the rims, as you can see there. And if they are steel belted, the little metal wires end up poking them in the gums and can tear their mouth up. So make sure, though they're hard to find, get only polyester belted tires and your Rottweilers will have a grand time. Some various collars that you can get for your Rottweilers. The first is a little soft cloth collar for puppies, and then a couple of different choke chains or slip chains. This one there with the large loop is a fur saver. A good leather collar is always good to have for your dog. And let's not forget to put an ID on your collar. You need a good 6-foot leather leash. You need to learn how to do puppy toenails. Their little nails can really dig into you, and they're quite sharp at the end. Also, it's very important to have good, healthy feet by keeping the toenails trimmed back. When your puppy is little, you can put him in your lap, hold the foot in your hand as I'm showing you here, and with an ordinary pair of fingernail clippers, just clip off the little tips of the toenail that happen to stick down. Now, if you don't clip the quick, or that's clipping them back too far where they bleed, your puppy, by the time it's a little bit older, will be a very easy dog to trim its toenails with no problem whatsoever. As I said, if you're careful clipping toenails when your puppy is smaller, you can take a file later and just work on their toenails and file them down. Some dogs will accept this a lot easier than they will clippers or an electric grinder. Whenever you are working on your dog's toenails, make sure that you make it as comfortable and as painless for them as you possibly can, and always have a few treats ready to offer the dog so it becomes a positive experience. Don't want to forget to take care of the teeth on your Rottweiler either. That's very important. Rottweilers, and other dogs too, can get gum disease just the same as people without appropriate and proper care. You can purchase special canine toothpaste and little slips that go over your finger with little nubbins and brushes on the end, and keep your dog's teeth clean. This particular girl that you see here is 7 years old, and as you can see, her teeth are in pretty good shape and her gums are a nice, healthy, light pink color. Do cats and Rottweilers get along? You bet. All depends on how you raise that puppy. If they are raised around cats, they will get along just fine. In fact, recommend every household that happens to have a Rottweiler. If they like kitties, it's a good experience for the pups. Now, breeds. This was the only Rottweiler that attended. She was getting prepared for an AKC trial, her first to be exact, in advanced herding. The voice that you will hear in the background is that of Terry Parrish.
Just lie her down. Now just wait a second. Lie down. You sound like you're ready to throw up. Lie down. There. Catch your breath.
Terry is very animated with her voice, and she's instructing all of her students exactly how to train their dogs. This particular Rottie was getting ready for advanced herding, an AKC trial the following weekend. And though there were many breeds herding specifically at this particular clinic, this is the only Rottweiler, and she by far had the better run. So bear with me, I have a live mic on Terry, and her voice does come booming in. Terminology you'll hear is go by and a we are directions that are given to the dog. The dogs are counterclockwise, go by, counterclockwise.
Lie down.
You will hear the terms go by and a we. Those are directional signals for the dog to either go clockwise or counterclockwise. You will also hear Susan tell Marcy to lie down. She doesn't really expect the dog to lie down, but she does expect the dog to hesitate or stop.
Lie down. We're all going to be a basket case by the time she runs this.
They are teasing Susan unmercifully. Susan's worked very hard with this dog, and this dog actually performs much better than most.
Yeah, see, that's all that. No, you don't need to get back. Just wait. Lie down. Lie down. You're fine. Lie down. You're fine. Take it easy.
Notice that she has to control the dog.
They're not running. You can breathe.
Away.
Yeah, you've got the easiest run so far. So just catch yourself here. Walk. Now let her walk. There. Lie down. Don't fuss. Get back. Lie down. Down.
This is the most difficult part for Rottweilers. Rottweilers have a tendency that they want to crowd up too close
Walk
behind
up.
the sheep, and if they do this, the sheep will take off running and they lose control.
Sit.
This particular girl is very, very good.
Ah, who's Mutt?
I
There.
pay $100 a month before I go. What do you cut 2 hours?
There. Stop. There.
Rottweilers are called a loose-eyed breed of dog,
There.
as opposed to a border collie that has a very intense stare.
Lie down. Get back. There.
It's a nice run.
Yeah, she's having a good go. Lie down. There. There.
Everybody present was fairly impressed with the Rottweiler, including the judge, Terry
Walk.
Parrish, I might add. She has some fantastic unsolicited comments towards the end of this run.
There. Go by. Go by. Let her work a little bit. You're turning her off too much. Walk up. Walk up. There. Owie. There. Walk. There. Once they go out the Z chute.
Fences that you see ahead
Walk
actually
up.
is like a little miniature corral. The object is to get the sheep into the corral. Then you'll have to turn the sheep back out and continue across the field.
Stop right there. You can go inside the pen.
This is something that you can do with your Rottweiler out there, folks.
I would have gone the other way. So that they push out this way. Because this is a real awkward takeout everybody's had out of this pen. Go by! There! There! You have to stay there, you can't move.
This breed loves
There you go, that's right.
Now take him along the fence. She's doing fine. Boy, is she pacing well. There. There, walk up. Walk up, walk up. Walk up, walk up, there. There.
AKC advanced herding requires that the dog move the sheep up alongside the fence and then make a 90-degree turn. The Rottweiler, Marcy, as you see here, and she is getting ready to perform that right now, was the only one of all of the herding breeds that day that did this correctly.
Stop.
This Rottie was the only Rottie during about 10 hours at this clinic that was able to bring the
Well,
sheep
we've been
down
lucky we've had good ones out here.
and make a 90-degree turn.
Go by.
Yes. Look at how obedient that dog is. There. Go by. So her time's up.
She did 10.
It's okay. We'll tell her that bad news later.
At this point, if I had that good a run and things started falling apart, as soon as they made it through those center lines, I had.
Yeah, yeah. This dog is so obedient. I mean, absolutely amazing. Okay, call her back. Good girl. We have to give her your herbs.
There's a dog on the board, Frank, named Titan, so.
Rottweilers have a tendency that they want to crowd up onto the sheep. The purpose of the long stick that Julie is holding is not to hit the dog or to frighten the dog, but to direct her to turn her back so she remains behind the sheep and continues to drive them and push them forward without running up onto the sheep. As you can see, when they first start out, they get terribly excited and absolutely dearly love this event. If your Rottie likes to dig, what you can do is place some of the dog droppings or feces in the hole, and I can assure you they won't want to dig back in that spot again. Rotties like to bury things to hide their special treasures, of course, when other dogs won't find them. Now, we've given this particular area right there to our Rotties to dig and to bury whatever they want to. She doesn't want to go back to that corner. This is their special spot. Of course, she knows all the other dogs go there too. No, not a good corner. The only place that seems to be left is their digging spot. She just can't make up her mind where she wants to place her treasure. Nope, not a good corner. Not good over there either. Oh heck, when all else fails, go to the place you're supposed to dig. It's a little big, but with a push here and a shove there, it just might fit. Some Rottweilers just have to dig. Well, that looks like a job well done. Note, this dog is wearing a halter for easier control. Each agility course is just a little bit different. See if you can find someone that has an agility course near you. Our Rottweilers really enjoy this. AKC also now recognizes agility. A little bit later, Charlotte will show what not to do with a puppy. Make sure your Rottweiler is at least a year old before you do any jumping or any agility work to protect and preserve those tender, delicate bones. This is what not to do with your Rottweiler puppy. Let your puppy grow up to be big, strong, and healthy, and then get into agility. Now here is Samson. He has been through agility many times over. This is during an actual agility competition. A handler is not permitted to touch their dog at all. They may cajole, call, get excited, run, anything they wish to do, but they cannot touch the dog. And Samson soon realizes this, as you will see. Rottweilers have a tremendous sense of humor, and just like a child, they know when they can get away with being disobedient. This is a taping of a CGC test that was done in 1992, sponsored by the Golden State Rottweiler Club and the Rotten Chatter newsletter. Some of the tests have been revised just a little bit since then. However, this gives you a good example of what is required of any dog taking a CGC test. It's very simple, and every dog should be able to pass this. Every Rottweiler, anyway. Oops, wrong dog. That's not Lucy. There she is.
This is a dog that likes the cards. Kill me today out here. Do we have a microphone going with this? Do we hear sound?
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Explain what you're doing.
Yeah, we're hooking up. I'll let her loose. Normally I make her stand because it's cute to see.
what happens when I bring the cart out.
Now, the dog that you're about to see has had a multitude of obedience training, and I might add she is a rescue Rottweiler. Susan acquired an ILP number. You can find an address for AKC at the end of this tape to show you how you can receive an ILP registration number on your rescue Rottie, and then you can compete in all of the AKC events with the exception of Conformation.
Okay, we're hooking up the breeching.
I might add that Lucy is also a high-end trial obedience dog. In competition against Rottweilers, she was the only one with an ILP number, and she went high in trial. Just using a modified Siwash.
Plastic clip that's used, and it's just hooked down to little plastic triangles here. And that's what actually pulls the cart forward. The cat's gonna go too, right? He gets his nose in here. So we're wrapping the shafts now.
You might watch for a video coming out in the very near future on showing you how to create this particular harness that Susan has developed, along with an extensive modified Siwash where she uses on both of her girls.
Just about one part of the harness here is washed so many times.
Before any of the activities that you have seen during this tape, all Rottweilers should have obedience training. This is the basis and the foundation for all of the events that you have seen these dogs performing during the video. A Rottweiler should begin obedience classes, structured obedience classes, by the time they're 6 months old.
A dog that's brought properly to the halter should have no resentment at all for putting it on. She knows what this is all about. She knows when this goes on, we go karting, and then it's a fun thing.
You must always be prepared for the hazards of karting if you cannot control your dogs. This is where obedience plays a very strong part. Well, there you have it, folks, a video about the magnificent Rottweiler. I hope you excuse the quality, as this was a compilation of various tapes that were sent to me and those that I have taken myself. Hopefully, you have learned a little more about our breed and realize it is a big responsibility to be owned by any Rottweiler. They should become active family members. If you don't want to go through house training, chewing, or other puppy training, check into giving a home to a rescue Rottie or a second-hand dog. These are the kids that really do need loving homes, and the best part, most can fit right in with your schedule. If you're not showing your dogs in any form of competitive conformation, I also suggest you spay or neuter your Rottweiler. Most of the dogs featured in this video were spayed or neutered.